Okay, hello everyone, back again for another week of football predictions.
Yes, indeedy. This is the player you get to see where to put the bets on.
Yes. Totally reliant.
Yeah, totally
Yes,
reliant. We
yes,
know our
yes.
stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's a good game starting us off, right? The early kickoff on Saturday. Today's Saturday. We're a bit late for our video. Villa, informed team against another informed team, Newcastle. Villa at home.
Yes, indeed. As you say, two informed teams going head to head. Looking forward to this game. I am going to veer towards a home victory. I think the form that Villa are in is slightly more impressive from an attacking perspective than the Newcastle, which is a better defensive
That's true.
outlook.
It's true.
So just as a positive spin, I'm thinking the attacking team will come out on top, and I think that will be Aston Villa.
Yeah.
You'll give me the stats to show that why Newcastle will probably win, but I'm going 2-1 Villa.
Okay. Well, talk about stats. Since Emery took over, only Arsenal have picked up more wins and points.
Mm-hmm.
And they've scored at least one goal in their last 17 games since he came in. So Watkins, of course, has been the main... he's been playing really well. Okay, he scored 9 in his last 11. The only thing is that one says that Villa have won the last 4 in a row, but they've played Forest, Leicester, Bournemouth, West Ham. I know you have to beat them.
And also they're fighting hard, but yes, I agree there's a step up in quality here now that will test them. But
so that would be the challenge. Newcastle are also discovering form again.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing like a team who's going to qualify for the Champions League, kind of the top 4. So I think it's very hard one to call, but I just think Newcastle just might have more than Villa in this one. So I'm going to go for a Newcastle
he's
win.
going away win.
An away win. And Newcastle have done well away from home as well this year. And so
There
we'll
we
see.
go.
And then Chelsea at home to Brighton.
Now, I'll let you take this one first.
Well, obviously, they're in the middle of their Champions League
Exactly,
game.
and that's a big factor in these ones.
Factor. I mean, even without that, you'd nearly fancy Brighton because Chelsea are going through a bad phase and they can't score goals, as we saw again against Madrid. Okay, there were scores, even though they gave a good enough performance themselves away in the Bernabeu than people might have predicted.
Yeah.
You know. So I think Chelsea probably will rest some players maybe for this one, although they've got such a big squad and they rotate so much, you might not even notice. But no goal in their last 3. They have a problem scoring goals. I just think Brighton, who lost and will feel very aggravated the way they lost to Spurs in the last game. They were very unlucky with the VAR calls. I think that was the call. So I'm expecting Brighton to win this one.
Yeah, I agree with everything that my esteemed colleague has said.
Here.
Yeah, how I just think that when you lose that little momentum, and they can blame the VAR calls, they still lost the game.
Yes.
That's just a hindering and the faltering at the last hurdles. I think this will be a draw. I think Chelsea, as he said, won't have enough attacking potency. But the players, their squad players are so strong and so good that
they should
keep Brighton at arm's length by and large. I predict a 0-0 draw here.
Okay. All right. Then a big game, or every game is big now on both sides of the table. We have Everton at home to Fulham.
Yes, okay. Well, I'll take this one on because being a half a Merseysider, I suppose, would be looking at Everton and sort of saying, will they go down this year? And I think they won't. I think Sean Dyche was a great signing for them. And I believe that he's already nearly got him out of trouble, and he will
a great
continue.
signing in terms of getting
the right manager in
not getting relegated.
For not getting I think even beyond that, I think there's too many of these teams. They say, "Oh, you know what? We want to play champagne football," and he's not a champagne manager. You know, they can't all play champagne. You saw Tony Pulis was with Stoke for years.
Yes.
Why did they get rid of him? because we want to play a more attractive game. Well, they are down in the Championship playing attractive games where they can't get out of it.
That's the balance where you have to try to, what do you want, like boring football and stability, or do you want expansive football and relegation?
I think Everton fans want their team to play with passion, play with organise, and not throw in the towel just when something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Quality would be better, but that comes with time and comes with confidence.
Well, they're playing a Fulham team who have lost their last 5.
Exactly. Fulham have lost their way since that FA Cup incident. And I think based on that Everton will get the 3 points that they still need.
Yes.
But just to keep them clear of the real dogfight.
Definitely. I mean, this is a classic 1-0 to Everton kind of game. Talking about Fulham, when they were doing well, they have this new thing now called the XG, like the expected goals. And Fulham's were actually not conceding as much as what their XG was saying they should be conceding. So it's kind of balancing out now as things tend to do over kind of a longer term. So Mitrovic, I think, should be back, but I agree. I think at home... Mitrovic
won't be back. He got an eight-match ban.
That's right, that's a big loss to them. But even with that, I agree with you. I think Everton at home will be up for this one. Fulham won't fancy going there. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Everton.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Then we have Southampton at home to a resurgent Palace. Roy's resurrection, right? So since he's come back, they've been a totally different team.
Yeah.
We spoke last week about how with Vieira they weren't taking shots. They were taking 9 shots per game. And in the game against Leicester, they had their record shots on goal for the season. And then they destroyed Leeds 5-1 in the last week. They have some very, very attacking players like Michael Olise. There's another Eku or something, Eke. They've also got Zaha, who may not be playing this time, but there's a lot of good players in that team, and Roy is kind of getting it out of them. Form would say Palace to win, but this is one of those games.
Because Palace got the few wins. That's when they often they switch off. They're going, we're safe, and then they switch off and lose a game or draw games. Before they get the kick up the backside to go again.
That's it. And although Southampton are they haven't been playing well at home.
No.
They've lost 9 games at home. They're doing a little bit better away from home. But yet, even with all that, even with all the stats and all the form pointing for Palace, you just feel with the Premier League that this is a kind of a game that Southampton could win.
Will you go as far as to say they will win?
I don't like to go for draws anymore because
it's too much on the fence.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good chance for a draw, but I just have a sneak. I wouldn't put money on this game to win or lose. You'd go for another mark. You'd go for corners or first to score or something different. But I have a sneaking feeling Southampton could win this one, just the way the Premier League goes, because teams are going to go down and then they win and they get back up again a little bit, and then teams are dragged into it again.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting because Palace have been playing some very nice football recently. But can they sustain it for 3 wins in a row? That's the thing.
Yeah. I'm going to go for the Palace victory here. I think Southampton are gone. I think they're the first. They're already. We said it a few weeks ago. They need 2 wins just to catch up, and to put it back into the melting pot.
Yes.
At the moment, they're in 20th place and they're being left put adrift.
Yeah, every week there's a little bit of a gap coming more and more.
Yeah, other guys are picking up points around them. They haven't been, and I think this could be nearly one of the final nails. I think the heads are dropping.
Yeah. That's why I have a sneaky feeling that they might.
Well, they have to do it. If they're going to do it, this is one, because Palace are down, not as close as them, but not far away.
Okay.
So, what have we got? Spurs versus Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
Okay, I'll just show in there quickly. Spurs had a very impressive victory against Brighton.
Impressive?
Well, impressive to get the result.
Yes.
A result is everything. At the end of the day, did they play great? No, but they got them put in positions to make these things to be called.
Son scored a beautiful goal. Kane scored.
So I will say impressive from where they're coming from.
And Spurs have a good home record. They've won their last 5 at home.
That's it. I mean, they're at home and they're playing Bournemouth. For me, Bournemouth are also a team like Southampton that are really,
Yeah.
I think that it might be too little too late for them.
They win one, lose one. Win one, lose. They've won
Yeah.
4, lost 4 of their last 8.
Yeah. And this one I see them losing because away to Spurs, the shackles seem to be relaxed a little bit of Spurs. They're only playing for their own bit of pride.
Yeah.
And
One thing that they're still playing Conte style. Like in the last game, it might as well be Conte might still be there. There was no like let's be more attack minded. They were still very much defensive minded and waiting for opportunities.
I think though that you see they probably were looking at Brighton and looking how good Brighton were on the counter against especially Liverpool in the FA Cup and things like that. And they're saying, well, hold on a second, we gotta respect and mind these guys, Mitoma, and what they've been doing this season. Against Bournemouth, they probably will be saying, let's go forward. We can really hurt these guys.
Yeah. I expect Spurs to concede, but maybe 2-1.
I think it's going to be more. Could be even 4-1.
Oh,
I'm going to go for an impressive Spurs victory here.
Okay. All right. Then we have Wolves at home to Brentford. Wolves who beat Chelsea, right? 1-0 in their last game. Right? Didn't they? Yeah.
I think Brentford are going through a bit of a stuttering themselves.
They've lost 2 now. They've lost to Newcastle, lost to Man United. They lost 2, and then that's as many as they had in the previous 19. So they've lost 2 in a row. So they're kind of running out of steam a little bit, you know.
Yeah, there's an element of that, I feel.
Yeah, because their squad obviously is limited.
Yeah.
And they had some really good players, but I just think coming to the end of the season, they're starting getting with a leggy. Is that motivation there? Are they happy where they are?
Yeah.
Maybe in their league table, which I mean for them is an amazing season.
Absolutely is.
So maybe Wolves. I'm fancying Wolves to win this one. I think it'll be low scoring, but I fancy Wolves again to win it. Great credit to JL. When he came in, they were bottom of the table. They were bottom of the table.
And you couldn't see where they couldn't buy a goal.
Yeah, exactly. And they haven't really brought a striker in. He's made them each. I think they've been sharing the goals around, which they needed to do.
Very like you couldn't put them in any Wolves player in the fantasy football because as I say, there's a great distribution with them among the Wolves.
So I'm going to go for a Wolves win on this one.
Okay, I'm going to go for a draw because I didn't say I'm going to only predict victories going forward. This one has a draw, I think, written all over it. I think both teams will be satisfied with a draw.
And Brentford are draw specialists in the league this year as well, as we said, you know. But so okay. But I think it'll be low scoring, definitely.
Low scoring, but I think there will be goals.
Low scoring, but goals.
Yeah, 1-1.
Okay, all right. Manchester City at home to Leicester. Now, a lot of talk about this one, that, you know, City after playing Bayern Munich, that there'll be a chance for Leicester to get something from this game. Because they're probably playing Bayern again.
They are playing Bayern again in the return, and
they're 3 goals up. So I'm feeling Guardiola will rest players definitely in this 100%.
100%.
Yeah, but his squad is big enough.
Like you rest Haaland, who comes in. A World Cup winner in Alvarez.
Yes, yeah. So, you know, Leicester, are they going to trouble Manchester City? I think that there's an opportunity for City to lose points here, but I don't think Leicester are the ones to do it. I think that even with a weak squad, City will still beat them comfortably. 3-0.
3-0. I don't think it's going to be that nice, but I also will go for a City victory on this one because of where Leicester are. And there's no sign, even with the change of manager, I haven't seen anything to indicate that there's going to be a pop.
Yeah. Like their defence is so weak, Leicester. You know, I mean, they've got some attacking players, but it's just so easy to go through them. And with City,
it'll be one of their former players. I'm sure Mahrez will play this one. They'll be more likely to rest the likes of Grealish.
Yes,
because Grealish is on a good return of form.
Yeah.
So Mahrez will be playing. You've got they're still quality players, you know. Sure. And I would agree. Not all their own way, but 2-0. 3-1.
Okay,
it won't be like tight in the last 10 minutes. There'll be a 2-goal cushion, and probably City will then make substitutions of their B players.
Okay. Right, yeah. Okay, fine. Then their challengers, of course, then play West Ham. West Ham are at home, but West Ham are also in the middle of a European game, right? They drew 1-1 with the Belgian team. Is it Ghent?
Yeah, Ghent,
and they play them in London during the week. West Ham have had a few wins recently to kind of take a bit of pressure off them a little bit. They're still not out of it completely, so they can't afford like to throw away the game.
Yeah.
So I mean, where is their focus going to be? Is it going to be on are they going to rest players? They can't afford to do it, really.
They cannot rest players.
Yeah.
They can't afford. This is a big London derby for them. The fans will be begging for them to put a
to
nail
stop Arsenal's,
to stop Arsenal from coming back and being the champions.
Yeah.
Probably for the fans that probably would mean more to them than getting to Europa League final.
I don't know about that. I think any
fan should. Yeah, you want to win a trophy, don't you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and European glory, they've been starved of that for European nights. A team that had a tradition of being in Europe.
What do you say? They can't afford to just rest players. They're not comfortable enough in the league to do that.
Well, even with the even if it wasn't the European night, West Ham have still struggled this season.
Yeah,
you would expect Arsenal.
I think you look at Arsenal that first half against Liverpool, and you look at the way they played. No one, certainly most teams, I won't say nobody, but most teams in the Premier League can't live with that. Yeah. And if they keep that confidence going, against West Ham, they should win this game.
The only way that they won't win it is if there's a sort of like a problem internally.
That we don't know about.
That they're nervous about something and they make a mistake. So I think they can only lose it themselves, really.
Yeah. If there's some implosion of some sort, a person suddenly gets a red card, and that can happen in any game.
Yeah.
So far, they've been very disciplined, and look, what happened? They still got a draw. It feels like a defeat for Arsenal. It was a draw away in Anfield.
Yes, yeah. You'd take that at the start of the season.
You would, and so move on. This one they need to win though, because of that, and they know that.
Keep the pressure on. Yeah.
So that will drive Arsenal.
Yeah.
To keep doing what
and they don't have any distractions during the week, so they can focus on this. Okay. Then we have Forest at home to Man United. Man United who threw away, like they were coasting.
They were coasting. They were 2-0 up. Should have been 3-4-0 up. I mean, that bio, what's his name? Anthony. He hit the post one. That's unlucky inside of the post, but he also missed a few. Pass the ball or do something.
And then you couldn't write it. Harry Maguire.
I feel sorry for him.
I do, because
there wasn't much he knew. He comes at you like that. He hadn't time to react.
Exactly. But people are just going to use it against him.
Yeah, exactly. What more fault is that Malaysia guy, the fullback, was atrocious, not knowing where the position was for the first goal.
Yeah. Yeah, there we are. So Forest have a chance here because United, obviously, of course.
The second leg is coming up.
Yeah. Forest will obviously throw everything at
home. It's their chance,
Yeah, and they need it because they're winless in their last 9. They've drawn a few at home. They haven't been getting the wins.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get Forest to win this one, a sneaky one, 1-0.
I'm with him on this. The injuries there, you see that Martinez is out for the rest of the season. So now they'll be forced to have Harry Maguire in. And there's just so much attention once he starts in a game.
Yeah. Because people are going to target him.
Yeah, the fans will be on his back every time the ball comes near him.
It's hard. We forget that they're human, footballers, and it's very easy to social media to destroy them.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
It's not nice.
It's not nice. Can't do that, lads.
No.
And United haven't been doing well. They've lost 3 out of the last 4 away. They've actually conceded 29 goals in 14 away games, which they have to go back to 78, 79. But they've conceded so many away goals. So Forest have a chance here.
Forest definitely, and it's up to them to take it.
Yeah.
Last game,
Monday night game.
Monday night football.
Leeds at home to
Leeds,
Liverpool.
The LNL, Leeds versus Loserpool. Well, I've said it earlier, and I'm going to stick with it. I don't think I'll be predicting Liverpool to win a game between now and the end of the season. I'm sure they will win a game between now and the end of the season. I just won't predict it.
Okay.
And this is one that's an easy one for me to say, that I think it'll be that there's one team playing for survival, need the points, brought in a new manager. We've seen an upturn in their game and the way they're playing and playing with that bounce that you'd like. They're at home, and I'm predicting a Leeds victory, maybe 2-1 on this one.
Okay, yeah, Leeds will be smarting after losing to Palace, right? 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing well under Garcia before that.
Yeah.
And actually, they were doing very well in the first half against Palace.
They did. They took the lead.
Yeah. So, just kind of they might just write it off. Okay, that's an anomaly. Let's can get back to our usual stuff. I do feel as well like that Liverpool's defence is in right trouble at the moment. There's no support from the midfield.
Yeah.
In the game against Arsenal, Liverpool defended by attacking relentlessly. That Arsenal couldn't get out and couldn't get to the other side to attack. And maybe they were trying to hold on to their lead as well at the same time with the crowd as well behind them. But I think Liverpool's best bet. The best way for Liverpool to defend is to attack.
Yeah, and that's like when you're away from home.
Yeah. Leeds are going to.
There's going to be times that you have to defend, and it's just different. They don't know how to do it anymore.
Yeah, Liverpool's away form is very bad as well. Of course, no win in 5, 13 points in 15 away games, lowest since 1993.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think I fancy Leeds to win this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go, guys.
Okay.
We're in now Songkran here, which is with the Thai New Year. So Sawadi Pi Mai, and good luck.
Yeah, enjoy the football, and we'll see you again next Friday.
Yes, we'll be a bit earlier next week.
All right. All the best. Take care and good luck. Okay.